You can't do this in any other first-person shooter. There's the player. I'm gonna try to commandeer his ship and steal all his loot. Hopefully he doesn't see me. Gotta be quick. Little cramp. All right, where's this guy at? I think he sees me now. Oh, we're almost close enough to breach. He knows. Here we go. All right, he's probably gonna be waiting for me inside. The second one got me. This is Marauders, and I want to tell you what you need to know about it. But first, you aren't still using Google Chrome or, God forbid, Firefox for a browser, are you? Do you churn your own butter too? You using sheep's bladder for protection? Hopefully not. In 2023, every gamer should be using Opera GX. I've been using them for over a year as my default gaming browser, and I'm super excited to thank them for sponsoring today's video. You can now set GX profiles to create a custom browser suited perfect for any online activity. You a streamer? No more problems showing your private stuff to viewers with the streamer configuration. PC not running smooth, stress not with the potato profile. With this one, you can use the browser in its most basic form. Don't want the missus to know you just paid a visit to your good old friend Mia Khalifa? Go rogue, which clears your horrible browsing data upon closing. Once you create a new profile, it'll show up on your taskbar below. Another super cool feature that you don't find on any other browser is a phone application for Opera GX that allows you to take a video on the go, right where you left off, by scanning its QR code. Who's that sexy guy? You can also log into Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music directly from Opera GX sidebar. This way you can keep all your music streaming in one place. If you pull up a tab and start watching a YouTube video or begin playing a song on SoundCloud or something, the player will automatically pause and then automatically resume once the media you're watching or listening to finishes. And I'm a tab fiend. I always have too many open at one time. With GX Hot Tabs Killer, you can identify the most resource draining tabs and close them to make sure that the browser isn't overburdening your laptop or PC. There's too many features to show you guys in one video that will make your life easier. So you're just gonna have to check them out for yourself. I left you guys a quick download link in this video's description. So what is Marauders? The gameplay loop follows that of an extraction looter shooter set in 1992 in a reality where the Cold War never ended. So the space race led us to interplanetary combat. Now, Marauders is definitely an early access indie game. It's full of bugs, glitches, and crashes, and some rather wonky shenanigans. But with that said, it has some of the most unique gameplay that I've ever experienced in a first-person shooter game. And for being just a couple of months into its launch, it's added a lot of new content that we're going to talk about here in a second that makes it worth its price tag of $30. So when it comes to how this game actually works, the common phrase that has been thrown around since Marauders launched a couple of months ago is Tarkov in space.
This game is Tarkov in space, and I know it's going to get overused,
but it sets itself apart from Poppy EFT in so many different ways. Practically all that I play is extraction looter shooters, as that's basically the main focus of this channel, giving our community access to what's going on with new and upcoming extraction looter shooters. So by the way, if like me, mindless casual PvP with no consequences just isn't enough for you anymore, consider subscribing so I can keep you in the loop. Thanks in advance. Regardless, it's always been the trend that any game that comes out in this genre is just a derivative of Escape from Tarkov. And that makes sense considering that they really laid the groundwork for every game that came after. Some of you aren't gonna like it, but Tarkov is hands down the best extraction looter shooter on the market. There really isn't a strong debate to counter that. But Marauders has something that Tarkov can't and won't be able to accommodate, and that's accessibility. EFT just just isn't playable for many of the newcomers hopping in just wanting to give it a try. There is so much meta with a complex medical system, in-depth ballistics and armor, hideouts, and the flea market. There's just so much you have to learn, put time into, and master before you can actually enjoy yourself and become a formidable threat when you drop into a raid. Marauders is simple. You have an HP and stamina bar, you use med kits and food to heal, 10 mil guns take 10 mil ammo, and weapon parts are labeled as to what exact weapon they go to. No random sight that you just can't seem to equip to any of the guns that you have in your inventory. In fact, there are no sights or scopes outside of the built-in iron sights that come on the weapon already. This is just another way that Marauders stands out as a game that is welcoming, not threatening, to non-veteran players. Everybody is just using iron sights. No guy that's been playing for years, easily power leveling their way to access better sights and higher damage ammo that gives them a massive advantage over you. But that's really where I want the Tarkov comparison to end. Because when you load into a match of Marauders, they couldn't be more different. You don't choose a map to drop into, you don't choose your own missions, like you do in every other game. The game chooses those things for you. When you spawn into a match, you have no idea which of the various maps of space you're going to load into and what objectives you're going to be given. You may need to go blow up some space mines or hold control of a security office while fighting off enemy players and AI. You won't know until a match starts. This adds replayability. It just decreases staleness. When you spawn in, you begin your journey in a slow, low damage, poorly armored rust bucket. This is the starter ship given to all Marauders who haven't earned, bought, or stolen one of the many higher tiered ships. It has a single turret, storage for extra loot you can't fit in your backpack, and a repairable engine that has to be put out with extinguishers if your ship catches fire. The goal is to traverse to and from whatever POI has spawned in with the map, complete your missions there, and survive to make it back to your ship and get to the exfil. The POIs are surprisingly large, with multiple rooms and sections for you to loot for gear and fight difficult AI for XP, but to be honest, you can run around a map and shoot enemy players and AI in every FPS game. Where Marauders feels the most fresh is in its space combat system. This is where the game really shines. Flying your ship to the POI in the middle, you can encounter turret systems, radars, mines, enemy AI, scout ships, frigates, and transport freighters, as well as other players flying around trying to do the same thing. All of these ships can be breached and boarded using an escape pod from your own ship. Once you breach, you have no idea what you're up against. Could be a solo player, or it could be a full 4-man squad kitted out with the best armor and guns. The only thing that you can be sure of is that it's assumed you are not friendly. Learning the layouts of each ship, as well as what paths players typically take to defend their loot, will help you eventually find the best places to position yourself for a successful ship raid. Now, I will say, one of the most important features that Marauders is lacking, that I think should be the standard in PvP games today, is proximity chat. There's only in-game voice lines at this point in early access that are you. Yeah, being able to utilize proximity chat when you encounter other players makes multiplayer games so much more fun and further randomizes the experience. After a successful raid, when you make your way to the exfil portal, you have to travel back to the space station where you're going to have access to your gear menu, allowing you to transfer over your spoils to your inventory, and then sell whatever you want to get rid of to traders for cash or to buy better items, or you can scrap stuff for materials that you can use to craft items that you've unlocked. With their newest update, you can also access a market where the traders will post their most desired items that they're looking for in exchange for experience and other items. Now, like I said earlier, you can't equip any sights, but there are a multitude of other attachments like stocks, extended mags, and muzzles that you can equip from the weapons menu to improve the guns in your inventory. And when you fly into the exfil with a new ship better than the rust bucket you had before, or buy or craft one, they will now show up in your hangar. From here, you can upgrade their lethality and armor. My favorite ship so far just got added to the game, with that last update too. But it belongs to the newest boss, the Red Baron. His spawn chance is very low, so when I saw the Red Baron ship on my first match the other night, I just had to have it. So I went for it. I'm in. All right, I'm waiting for you, I'm in. Gotcha, bitch! Woo! We killed the Red Baron, son, let's rock! Now, all this good can't come without some nuance. When Marauders is running smooth, it plays really well, with fairly high FPS. But at least once or twice a session, I get crashes. And pretty often there's game-breaking bugs that can prevent me from using my weapon or accessing my ship. Upon resetting the game, these things are usually fixed. The problem is, if it happens while you're in a match, you lose that entire loadout, along with any resources or items that you looted along the way. And those character models, I swear, like when you don't have a gun equipped, you disappeared for a second. That's not good.
Yeah.
That looks so fucking goofy, dude.
I know, dude. So derpy.
It's just hilarious. But let's be honest, even AAA games like Call of Duty's DMZ mode still have issues like this. So it would take a lot more for me to just completely write this game off. Marauders is ran by an 8-man indie dev team. And for the shape that it's already in this early in development, I'd say they're doing a pretty bang up job. I just wanted to make sure that this section is included in our discussion so that you know what you're in for if you pick this game up. Now for the future, there's nothing I think as players we like to see more than a roadmap, hinting at what's to come in the near future. This builds trust with the community and gives people a reason to want to stick around long term. The dev team posted this a while back, and I love what I'm seeing. But I have my own ideas that I want to talk about too. The first thing is grenade implementation. Currently, there is only guns in Marauders. There are no throwables. In a way, I've kind of enjoyed the lack of grenade spamming, resulting in PvP supremacy mainly being determined by who has better positioning, gunplay, and patience. With throwables, all of that can go right out the window if not done right. I know that's why they haven't already added grenades, so I'm curious for when they do, how they're going to effectively handle this situation. The next big one is guild content. Leagues, customization, tags, and battles. Guilds are something I've always liked, and is a great way to make players feel like they're a part of something, especially when you don't have any friends that play that game. Some other upcoming implementations they announced are huge quality of life pushes to address the crashes and bugs, nail weapons, new enemies, new maps, including a fleet battle map, which for someone who's obviously a massive fan of the space combat is very exciting. More attachments, more ships, and the most important addition of all, ship customization. Let me tell you why. There are many things that makes Marauders unique. This is a philosophy that applies to everything and everyone in life. Be what you are to the highest possible factor. I don't want to get off topic, but you are special. You have qualities about you that with the right crowd and the right situations you can put yourself in would make you happy and successful by your own definitions. Don't ever let anybody take that away from you or con you into living your life in a way that is their definition of good or successful. You may not know me and I may not know you, but I know that I genuinely appreciate your attention. I'm thankful that you've watched my video this far, and I don't think that many creators consider that in our videos. We're talking to real people with real lives, so I just wanted to quickly spread some positivity where I can. Delve into what you really are. And for Marauders, that's an extraction looter shooter with your own personal spaceship for travel. So I want to see more ships, more ways to outmaneuver your enemies, other than strafe left and strafe right, and a deep dive into ship customization. The feeling of loss should be horrible when an enemy squad breaches your uniquely customized baby, kills you, and then takes it from you. I want to see a separate progression system entirely dedicated to upgrading your ships, like unlocking speed boosters through mission completion. The damage system for ships currently is just shoot till you disable the other guy. Then they try to repair their ship by using a fire extinguisher on the engine. This is the sole way to repair your ship. That's it. I want to see different systems getting deactivated by hitting different parts of the ship. If you hit the turret too many times, it alone gets destroyed with less damage to your overall integrity of the ship, and you have to repair it before it's operable again. Let's say you hit the thrusters on one side, which will slow the entire ship down, and it won't be able to go full speed again until you repair that thruster. Or maybe you hit the pods, preventing the player from escaping their dying vessel until they're fixed. That's what I would like to see. The problem is, I'm sure that these kinds of features would give massive advantages to those in squads over solo players. Regardless, they would add so much more depth to traveling around in open space. Marauders has a promising future with the growing popularity of this genre, and I honestly think if they were able to bring this game to consoles, it would explode even further. But for now, we're just gonna have to see how it performs on Steam. Now, if you're a console player and love the concept and gameplay loop of Marauders, I'd recommend checking out the most anticipated extraction looter shooters coming to all platforms in 2023. If only there was a video that put them all into organized, time-stamped sections. See you there.